Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have Matthew Wayne. We have all had quite the year trying to adjust to the differences we are currently facing, but some people certainly have an easier time adjusting than others. Matthew Wayne is a small British YouTuber who posts videos of himself playing paintball, but he found himself in some hot water earlier this year. For some reason, Matthew decided it would be a good idea to film himself calling in a bomb threat to a hospital. Apparently, he was upset at some treatment he had received closer to the beginning of the global spread of the coronavirus and thought that it was an appropriate way to deal with his feelings about it. During the phone call, Matthew allegedly referred to himself as a YouTuber, made a ton of accusations towards the staff, and apparently also made a racist remark. I can totally understand being frustrated, but this really takes it to another level. Shockingly, Matthew was only sentenced to 12 weeks and a few small fines. Let's hope this was enough for him to have learned his lesson. In our number 9 spot today, we have Kangwa Ren. Before I dive into this one, guys, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying the video so far, because it really helps us out. Kangwa Ren, who is better known as his YouTube name Reset, makes gaming videos and has over 1 million subscribers on his channel. In 2017, he made a video that saw him remove the cream filling from an Oreo, replace it with toothpaste, and then give it to an unsuspecting homeless man who later threw up. When people began to give him backlash for this video, he removed it and instead put up another video of him giving the same man a $20 bill, as if that's compensation enough. The judge in this case certainly took into consideration the fact that he had made more than $2,000 on this video alone, so the measly offer of $20 was most certainly insufficient. The court decided on a 15-month sentence and a fine of $20,000, as well as a 5-year YouTube ban. It is unclear if Reset ended up actually heading off to serve his sentence or not, but his channel hasn't been posted on since August of this year. In our number 8 spot, we have Austin Jones. Austin Jones was a YouTube musician who started on the platform all the way back in 2007. Last year, Austin was sentenced to 10 years in prison for soliciting underage girls for photos and videos. The complaints started in 2015, and in 2017 he was arrested. He ended up pleading guilty and admitted to using different platforms such as Facebook and iMessage. The 10-year sentence comes from him pleading guilty on one count of the things that he was accused of. Initially, his YouTube account was demonetized once the allegations came to light, but it was quickly removed entirely following the guilty plea. In our number 7 spot today, we have Ruslan Sokolovsky. Okay, this one is kind of crazy. Russian YouTuber and law student Ruslan Sokolovsky is facing jail time because he was playing Pokemon Go in church. He had filmed himself playing the game and a few weeks later was awoken in his apartment by the police coming in to arrest him. Apparently this is a crime in Russia because it is obviously offensive to the people who were there to worship. I completely agree that it was extremely rude and distasteful for him to pull this kind of a stunt, but 5 years in jail for playing Pokemon Go does seem kind of insane. Like, Matthew Wayne called in a bomb threat to a hospital and got a significantly lighter sentence. After Ruslan was arrested, he was on house arrest for a while and is banned from speaking to anyone other than his lawyer and the people who are investigating him. This arrest is seen as very controversial and has a lot of people discussing freedom of speech laws. While I'm not exactly sure if there has been an official sentencing or not, Ruslan is facing 5 years in prison for this offense. In our number 6 spot, we have Billy Altidore and Ivani Lewis. Billy Altidore and Ivani Lewis are the YouTube couple who run their channel called Beam Squad. The pair post videos of them and their family doing challenges and pranks and just talking about their daily lives. Last year, the couple was arrested and charged for fraud, which they of course documented on their YouTube channel. According to court documents, the pair used stolen identities to create fake bank accounts and debit cards. The pair then used personal information that they had stolen in order to access the Social Security Administration website, where they then made direct benefit payments into their new fake bank accounts. There were allegedly 1,400 people whose benefits they tried to access, and of course some were successful and some were not. After this, the couple then used stolen personal information to file false tax returns and again directed the false tax returns into their fake bank accounts. Of course, they were eventually found out, which is what led to their arrest. They both pleaded guilty, and Billy was sentenced to 2 years, while Ivani was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day. And they were also fined close to $94,000 in restitution. Billy has since gone away to serve his time, but because of the fact that they have kids, Ivani will be waiting to serve her time until Billy is back and able to take care of the kids. Their channel continues to grow and gain subscribers and sees around 12 uploads a month. In our number 5 spot today, we have Daniel Silva. Daniel is a YouTuber and tattoo artist who may be better known for his time on the tattoo competition show Ink Master. Daniel uploads videos of him tattooing and having conversations with celebrities, influencers, and athletes. Things took a really sad turn for Daniel earlier this year though. On May 10th, Daniel was speeding his 2020 McLaren 600 LT with his friend and famous YouTuber Corey LeBerry in the passenger seat when he accidentally lost control of the vehicle and ended up crashing into a stop sign and tree. This crash ended up taking the life of Corey. Daniel was then arrested and ended up pleading no contest in July. In August, he was sentenced to 364 days in jail as well as 5 years of probation, 250 hours of community service, and if he fails to comply with any of his probation terms, he'll be facing a 4-year prison sentence. Daniel has actually since been released from prison, but his YouTube and Instagram accounts both remain inactive. In our number 4 spot today, we have Ferdian Paleka. Earlier this year, the YouTuber was arrested after posting an extremely transphobic video. The video showed him handing fake aid packages to trans women that were actually filled with bricks and garbage and rotten vegetables. Of course, this video came under immediate fire for its disturbing content, and Ferdian responded by posting a fake apology video. He was charged with online defamation under the Information and Electronic Transactions Act, which carries a maximum 4-year prison sentence, as well as deliberately breaking the law and bringing harm to others, which is punishable by up to 12 years in prison under the same law. After Ferdian's arrest, there were videos posted that quickly went viral of him being ordered around to do embarrassing tasks by other inmates. The videos received comments from his parents about how much it angered them to see their child being humiliated publicly. They are absolutely right because that is not okay, but it sure is ironic. Luckily for Ferdian, the trans women that he victimized have decided to drop the charges against him, so he ended up being released from police custody earlier this year. But of course not before he made a snide comment that he was more comfortable in his jail cell rather than in his car before driving off. Hopefully this was just an ill-timed joke and he has learned his lesson, because things truly could have been a lot different for him. His YouTube channel remains active with just under 300,000 subscribers. In our number 3 spot today, we have Andrei Pais. Andrei is a Russian YouTuber with roughly 800,000 subscribers who posts videos of himself exploring abandoned sites and bunkers. He was arrested in August for allegedly obtaining and spreading state secrets. He has yet to face trial, but he is still in police custody and could potentially receive up to 8 years if he is found guilty. It is unclear if Andrei plans to plead guilty or not to the charges against him. His lawyer has said that the charges are not linked to any of his social media posts, but some people speculate differently because of the fact that there is a suspicious anonymous comment on one of his Instagram posts. The post was from when Andrei gained access to a functioning radar system that Russia uses for its nuclear strike early warning system, and the comment was promising him that big trouble was coming his way, which is super ominous. As of right now, his channel is still up, but it hasn't been posted on since an almost 3-hour live stream on August 2nd, where he apparently speaks about his legal issues, but unfortunately I can't speak Russian and the English captions aren't so great, so I have no idea what exactly he is saying. In our number 2 spot today, we have Anthony Locke. Anthony Locke, who's better known as his YouTube name Gas Kings, was a YouTuber who posted car videos. He has almost 700,000 subscribers and his most viewed video has 7.7 million views. In 2018, Anthony went to trial over a scamming scheme. According to the court, Anthony and his partner Ray decided to set up a fake website in order to scam people out of their pensions. The website claimed that you could sign up and invest your pension funds, and that half would most definitely be returned back to you, but the other half would be invested into different eco-friendly firms, which ended up not being true at all. Instead, Anthony took the money from pensioners and spent it on expensive cars. If stealing people's money wasn't bad enough already, apparently some of the victims were already in financial turmoil, which certainly just makes the matters worse. Anthony stole close to £1 million and was charged with 23 counts of fraud and 3 counts of money laundering, which landed him a 5-year sentence. In our number 1 spot today, we have German Abraham Loera Acosta. German was a small but mighty YouTuber. He would put out motivational messages for his subscribers to view and was known for his catchphrase, "I think the mind is the only thing that limits us." While this may be true and potentially some great advice, things really took a turn for this guy. In February of 2018, the 25-year-old YouTuber was part of a group in a scheme that devised a plan to kidnap a woman named Talia Dennis, who is a lawyer, and hold her hostage for ransom. The YouTuber rented a house where Talia was held captive and demanded 2 million pesos in Bitcoin in exchange for her safe return. Well, it didn't exactly work out as planned. The police rescued Talia 2 days after her kidnapping, and boy am I glad that she was uninjured, although I'm sure that would have been a super traumatic thing to have to live through. All of the men who were involved have been arrested, and just this year German received his sentence of 50 years in prison, as well as a fine of 500,000 pesos. I'm glad that the kidnapping and ransom of Talia was obviously taken very seriously.
Let's start off at number 10 with Sniper Wolf. Do we actually go the I don't know, she spells Sniper Wolf with like so many S's. For now, we'll just call her just Sniper Wolf. Well, she tweeted out this picture of herself. This was her mugshot. This picture was from 2016 when Sniper Wolf got arrested for disorderly conduct. So let me explain what happened. According to Sniper Wolf, she said that her and her boyfriend, well, her boyfriend at the time, Sausage, I don't know what kind of name that is, but he had an image on his phone of another girl, and Sniper Wolf wanted to see what was on his phone. He wouldn't give it to her, so that's when she decided to scream on the top of her lungs. And that's when neighbors heard her yell. When the police showed up, Sniper Wolf wasn't talking to the police. Instead, she tried to go upstairs in her own home, but police blocked her, they stopped her, they arrested her. They arrested her for disorderly conduct because she wasn't talking to the police. But Sniper Wolf thought she didn't have to talk to police because the whole "you have the right to remain silent." But that law takes effect when you're actually getting arrested. If police have questions about a potential what people think is to be a domestic violence, I think you should be answering the police's questions. If not, then yeah, I would take you into custody because I got questions for you.
So stupid. I hate my life right now. They handcuffed us in the house, took us outside, put me in one cop car, put Sausage in another cop car, and they took us down to the station.
Sniper Wolf was kept in a holding cell with another woman. It seems like Sniper Wolf was in jail for just a few days until she had to appear in front of a judge. The judge determines whether or not she gets bail, if she can be released right away, and Sniper Wolf's so lucky she was able to just be released right away. No bail, no nothing. Number 9 is Nelk Films.
Basically, he's going to be held in jail for the night, and then it's up to the judge to decide if he wants to be let out by a bond or if he's going to be kept in, depending on how bad the misdemeanor is.
So Nelk Films started on YouTube years ago, and fun fact for you guys, Nelk is now Jesse and Kyle, but it used to be other people back then. It was Kyle, it was these twins, and I actually brought them into my studio before they really got into YouTube, and I really tried to push them into this like YouTube direction because I saw something going on there. So I used to talk to them all the time, and I did tell them be careful with these pranks, but I guess they took things to the next level, and they're now finding themselves in trouble. I think Nelk Films are great. They do amazing pranks, and if they didn't do these like next level pranks, they may not have been as big or as famous as they are now. But they're finding themselves in a lot of trouble. Well, in this case, it's Jesse. It's hard to determine what prank got Jesse arrested, but from what I was able to gather, he was walking around with a fake bloody hoodie, and he was dragging around a bloody shovel in a store trying to scare people. Jesse has since been released from prison, but now he has a long road ahead of him with court and legal issues. Well, he had this to say. "We have to say that the Columbus police handled the situation very well. We understand the situation could have been potentially life-threatening for us, as well for them. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens to the Nelk boys, but best of luck to them." At number 8, we're talking about a Spanish YouTuber, Kangua Red, and he decided to play a prank on a homeless man by giving him an Oreo-filled toothpaste. After the homeless man ate the Oreo that was filled with toothpaste, he actually got very sick and he started to throw up. The police was called and the Spanish YouTuber was arrested. Prosecutors are seeking $37,000 in compensation because the homeless man was humiliated, and it got him very sick. Also, they want him to face 2 years behind bars. So this was his reaction to this. Maybe I've gone a bit too far, but look at the positive side. This will help him clean his teeth. I think he hasn't cleaned his teeth since before he became poor. Is this real life right now? This is probably one of the most insensitive thing I've ever heard. But I think a jail sentence, like a 2-year jail sentence for this, is just way too extreme. Like, come on. What do you guys think? Number 7. Okay, that looks very dangerous. Well, this video is uploaded onto the Rocco Piazza Vlogs channel. It's about this 10-year-old kid who lives a crazy life in Corona, California. Well, his parents help him with his videos from time to time. And that prank you just saw, well, that prank got his mom arrested for child endangerment. For some reason, the video is still allowed to be on this channel, and it has almost 5 million views at the time of this recording. When Corona police saw this video, they arrested 45-year-old Holly Piazza and her fiance, 37-year-old Brian Chase. Moving on to number 6, number 6 is just so stupid. This right here is 22-year-old Dylan Birch, who decided to play a prank on Disneyland. He thought it would be so funny to tell Disney that there's an active shooter in the park. The park went into a state of emergency. Obviously, the police didn't think that this was a funny prank, so he was arrested, and in front of a judge, he pleaded guilty to a charge of disturbing the peace and disorderly intoxication charges as well. So he was quickly caught and sent to jail.
Only on 6 tonight, we are learning about a scare at Disney. A young man warning people at the Contemporary Resort that an active shooter was on the loose.
He told deputies he was joking.
Number 5.
Whose YouTube videos have made him a star is under arrest, accused of using his fame to
a young YouTube celebrity has been arrested along with his manager and
Steven
another
Fernandez
person
of
he works
Compton
with.
used his own celebrity to authorities began their investigation of Fernandez.
So yeah, we're talking about 15-year-old, well at the time, Steven Fernandez, who was arrested after cops found out that he's been using his celebrity status to sexually exploit an underage girl. Law enforcement also said that Fernandez met a 12-year-old girl in his hometown of Compton last month and allegedly promised he'd introduce her to big-name celebrities in exchange for sexual acts. The girl agreed and a sexual act was committed. This kid got famous after he started a movie. He started to gain popularity on YouTube. Apparently Steven's manager might have been involved as well, and everyone on his team was arrested. They all went to jail. This case is still ongoing. Steven Fernandez says he's out of jail as of right now, and he has now denied the claims after a few years after this whole incident started, and he's finally talking about what happened. He said that his manager might have actually been the one messaging this girl, and it wasn't him.
Well, he was my guardian. Thinking about this girl, I mean, she was 12 years old, and for my manager to be accused of this, it was like real gnarly. Like this guy is like 20-something years old.
Moving on to number 4, we have Roman Atwood. He found himself in some trouble after a prank he did back in 2014.
Somebody called in saying that you guys were breaking into an ATM.
It's our ATM. It's our ATM. We just bought
your ATM.
We own it. Fake cash.
So the prank Roman Atwood and his team set up was, well, they were pretending to break into an ATM, but people took notice and called the police because this is a normal thing that people would do. The police were pretty pissed off that they were called to a fake prank. They were saying that this prank could have put their lives at risk.
You're putting our lives at risk, and you're putting other people's lives at risk because we're running our lights and sirens trying to get here because we think somebody's trying to rob us.
I understand.
Also, pranks like this, it's just such a waste of time. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. It costs so much when you have to send these police officers into action, and this isn't a reason why we need police officers. And because this was a pretty big deal, I mean, stealing money in an ATM, there could have been a lot of money in there. There was actually helicopters as well to just make sure that there was a visual on the suspects and to make sure that they were captured.
Wow. Awesome.
Vitaly was also part of this prank. They used to do pranks together back in the day.
Looks like they're not happy. Looks like we might be going to jail.
It's so much for nice cops. We're either all going to jail, Chase won't, or will because we were in the act.
So the police officers took everyone's camera, the SD cards, because now everything will be used as evidence. So in the end, Roman Atwood was arrested, so was most of his team, anyone who was involved with a fake robbery. And speaking about Vitaly, he actually found himself arrested many times, so you know what? Vitaly's up next at number 3. Let's talk about one of his craziest illegal stunts. Vitaly decided to go streaking during the World Series. This is one of the most televised events on TV. Well, Vitaly decided to take off all of his clothes and to go streaking during the World Cup finals. Vitaly also went streaking during an NBA Finals game. I remember when that happened, and it's so insane. And you know what? Let's not forget the time that he streaked during the World Series back in 2017. I mean, come on, keep your clothes on. Vitaly's actually quite fast and it looked hard to catch him. Well, he said he gets a high from doing all of this. He loves danger and getting into situations like this. He has been arrested many times and streaking is a felony. For the first time offenders, it's usually a misdemeanor. After that, you could be sentenced of up to 6 months in jail in order to pay a fine of $1,000. But this guy has streaked so many times, so he keeps serving jail time. It's like it doesn't faze him. And actually, at number 2, I wanted to show you guys another prank he did that was absolutely insane. So Vitaly is appearing for the second time on this list. Well, what he did, it became global news.
We begin with breaking news. A man has climbed the Hollywood sign. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. We've seen him waving a white flag that says, "I'm back." There it is.
This was how Vitaly wanted to return back to YouTube after he stepped away from YouTube for a while. This guy caused such a stir. There was so many LAPD helicopters flying around, so many news helicopters flying around, making sure that they had a visual on Vitaly and they wanted to capture the whole moment. They weren't sure how dangerous he was. They didn't know who he was at the time. I mean, for someone to do something crazy like he did, you just never know what they're doing, their state of mind. They might have a weapon.
Back to our breaking news. A man believed to be a YouTube prankster has climbed the Hollywood sign.
Tim Lynn monitoring the situation overhead in Sky 5. Tim.
Is this real life right now? There are so many helicopters. I would be freaking out. I would be shaking. Like, I just couldn't do something like that. Vitaly always regarded himself as a villain, and this is what he said before going to jail.
Villains missed me. They really missed me, the villains. And I have to show them who is back. Natural born pranksters. Nothing can stop us.
It just seems like this guy is always in a ton of legal problems. Finally, number 1, we have Austin Jones.
Hi guys. I know a lot of you probably have some really harsh and negative opinions towards me right now, and I understand why you do. But I'm asking you to please put those opinions aside for a few minutes and listen to everything I have to say.
Austin Jones was arrested after investigators found out that he's been communicating with underage female fans. Austin Jones admitted to everything. So he was on Facebook to have sexually explicit chats with the girls. He told the underage girls to make videos of themselves dancing in a sexually explicit way and instructed them to perform sexual acts knowing that they're just 14 and 15 years old. He actually wanted them to say their age in these videos. He then requested that these vulnerable girls send him the videos, and he has confirmed that he did receive some of these videos and he watched them while masturbating to them. I mean, this is just sickening. Austin Jones could face up to 30 years in prison and he's banned from the internet. He was becoming a big YouTuber and he took advantage of his fans in a very sick way.
Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have Mona Lisa Perez. Mona Lisa is a YouTuber who used to post makeup and fashion vlogs, but now makes videos more focused on her family and her children. On June 26th, 2017, Mona Lisa and her boyfriend Pedro Ruiz set out to make an extremely dangerous video. They decided that they would put a really thick encyclopedia on his chest and Mona Lisa would shoot a gun at the book. They were expecting the book to be thick enough to stop the bullet, but unfortunately this was a grave miscalculation. The bullet ended up going straight through the book and Pedro passed away shortly after. Mona Lisa was arrested immediately and talk began to swirl about who was to blame. In the end, it was decided that both both of them played a role in this terrible day. Mona Lisa was sentenced on December 19th, 2017 to only 6 months in prison after she pleaded guilty to the charges. She has since served her time and will remain on probation for the next 10 years, as well as receiving a lifetime ban from owning a firearm. She continues to make YouTube videos now with 42,000 subscribers, but tends to get about 80% dislikes on her videos. In our number 9 spot today we have Valdrox Studio. But before I dive into this one, please don't forget to like this video because it really helps us out. Valdrox was a YouTuber who was known for his animated characters. He was quickly controversial for his not safe for work content and the fact that he stole a lot of his content from other artists, as well as the fact that he was apparently pretending to be a teenage girl in the beginning while he was actually a man in his 20s. On April 11th, 2019, the man behind Valdrox, named David Alejandro Pascal Argueta, was arrested after the Guatemalan police raided his home. He was arrested for receiving and selling photos of girls. He would bait people into sending him photos using the guise of collaboration. In December of 2019, he faced trial for his atrocious crimes and received a sentence of 3 years and 5 months. Unfortunately, there is a law that gives people who have been sentenced to less than 5 years the option to pay a sum of money instead of actually serving time. It is pretty upsetting that money got him out of having to actually go to jail, but he has been banned from the internet, which is most certainly for the best. In our number 8 spot today we have Jay Station. Jay is a Canadian YouTuber who is known for his fake prank videos. He's extremely controversial because of the type of content that he posts. He has been arrested quite a few times and has even deleted his channel in the past before starting a new one. Earlier this year, Jay decided to post a video where he claimed that his girlfriend had died. This was untrue and just an idea used to garner attention and gain sympathy subscribers. Later, the Toronto police showed up at Jay's house to arrest him after that same girlfriend had accused him of a with a weapon. Jay has since been released and has begun uploading on YouTube again with the same girlfriend. The pair has claimed to have reconciled their differences, and let's hope that this is the end of Jay Station controversies. In our number 7 spot we have VJP Nair. VJ was a YouTuber who was arrested in September for posting videos that allegedly contained extremely derogatory remarks about women. Apparently prior to his arrest, he was actually attacked by a group of women activists who took his phone and laptop to hand over to the police. His channel has since become private since the police need to review all of its content in order to conduct their investigation. There's a lot of bizarre stuff going on in this case, like his potentially false claims to be a film director as well as a teacher, and a potentially fake PhD that he claims he has in clinical psychology. He is still under investigation at the moment, but he is facing 5 years in prison if he is found guilty. In our number 6 spot today we have Ahmad and Zinab Hassan. The Egyptian YouTube couple are known for their comedy videos and vlogs and quickly gained success. The pair recently welcomed their first child, who they quickly began adding to their videos. Once they began to include their daughter in the videos, people began to get upset over the fact that it really did seem like the baby didn't want to be involved. There was a video where the child was clearly unhappy being posed for it and was crying uncontrollably while the pair just laughed and didn't really do anything to comfort the obviously upset child. There was a video that ended up being the final straw for a lot of people when it showed Zinab with dark paint on her face, which is already upsetting and derogatory enough, but she then clearly terrifies the child, who's again crying with what she has just deemed as a prank. The pair has since been arrested and is being investigated for child endangerment, as well as violating Article 96 of Egyptian law, which protects children from threatening situations. They haven't been officially charged yet, but could be facing life sentences depending on what the official charges ended up being. In our number 5 spot today we have Alex and Alan Stokes. The twin YouTubers are known for their prank videos, but last year a video they uploaded has caused quite a stir for the two. Last October they uploaded a video that was supposed to be a bank robbery prank. They called an Uber and they got in wearing black outfits and ski masks and had large duffel bags and pretended like they had just robbed a bank. The Uber driver rightfully denied to take them anywhere, and a witness thought that the boys were carjacking the Uber driver and they called the police. Once police arrived on the scene, they approached the Uber driver with their guns drawn. This poor, unsuspecting Uber driver really didn't deserve to be caught up in all of this. Apparently, shortly after this incident, the boys did a similar prank at the University of California's Irvine campus, where police were called again. They were originally let off with a warning, but they have since been charged with false imprisonment as well well as falsely reporting an emergency, which could see them each receiving a 4-year sentence. In our number 4 spot, we have one that just happened the other day. A Russian YouTuber named Stanislav Reshetnikov has been arrested and is being investigated for the death of his girlfriend Valentina. On a live stream, Stanislav was offered $1,000 to lock Valentina outside in the freezing cold. Unfortunately, he decided to do this and things really escalated. Valentina ended up passing away due to hypothermia after being left outside. Stanislav continued the live stream even after he had discovered what happened to her, and it saw him calling the paramedics, them showing up and pronouncing her dead, and then apparently continued on for another 2 hours after that. His YouTube account has of course been terminated for a multitude of reasons, and he remains in police custody as they finish conducting their investigation. In our number 3 spot, we have Pablo Benua and Ray Utami. These Indonesian YouTubers post interview videos with different celebrities on YouTube, but they have recently been arrested and sentenced for what one of their 2019 videos contained. In an interview with an actor, the pair asked about his ex-wife named Firuz. The actor then made derogatory comments about her and disclosed some extremely personal information, to which Pablo and Ray were laughing and acting disgusted. Of course, once Firuz saw this, she was rightfully upset and filed for defamation. Earlier this year, Firuz saw some justice carried out when her ex-husband was sentenced to 2 years and 4 months, Pablo was sentenced to 1 year and 8 months, and Ray was sentenced to 1 year and 4 months. This obviously came as a huge relief to Firuz, as she posted on Instagram after all 3 were sentenced about her gratitude for the decision. In our number 2 spot today, we have Ryan Stone. In 2014, the YouTuber Ryan Stone led police on an incredibly dangerous high-speed chase that lasted over an hour, traveled over 60 miles, and critically injured a state trooper. Ryan had stolen a vehicle from a gas station that had a 4-year-old boy in the back seat. He ended up also stealing 2 other vehicles and hit a state trooper going 90 miles per hour. It has been said that Ryan may have been under the influence of drugs and was struggling with addiction at the time, which may have possibly led to this erratic and dangerous behavior, but others suggest that some disrespectful remarks he has made about the situation have shown him as being unremorseful. Ryan was sentenced in 2015 to 160 years in prison, but will likely become eligible for probation in 75 years, which would make him 102 years old. In our number 1 spot today, we have Lenscap Productions. Lenscap Productions was a YouTuber who liked to review anime content. His real name is Trey Eric Sessler, and he quickly became one of the largest anime review channels, but things took an extremely dark turn in 2012. Trey made a plan to kill 70 people at his high school's pep rally. This plan fortunately didn't end up being completed, but Trey did end up killing his own family. He said that he did it so that they would be spared from knowing his ultimate plan that never ended up being carried out. It is an unbelievably tragic situation that ended up giving Trey a life sentence in prison. There were a lot of people who originally thought that maybe he might even receive the death penalty since he lives in Texas where it is legal, but that did not happen. Trey has asked for his parole opportunities to be taken away because he said he doesn't trust himself outside of prison.
In at number 10. Let's talk about Daddy05, who thinks it's funny to prank their kids.
I didn't do that!
What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
What is this?
Cody!
You tell me! I didn't do that! You tell me what you did! I swear to God I didn't do that!
Both of the parents were in on this prank, and they thought it would be funny to yell at their son, saying, "What the heck did you do? What did you do to the carpet?" The kid was totally distraught, he was freaking out. Well, there are many of these types of emotionally damaging videos on Daddy05's YouTube channel. Well, the couple was found guilty of 2 counts of child neglect. They appeared in court and entered an Alford plea, so they were given a sentence of 5 years of probation. This actually made headline news.
Cry hysterically, and the videos racked up millions of views. But the youngest 2 are Heather Martin's stepchildren. Now their biological mom has come forward, releasing her own video with her lawyer, announcing that Michael and Heather Martin have lost custody and the children are now in her care.
I feel really bad for these kids who were just taken advantage of in this situation. They're so young and they don't really know what's going on. Let's move on to number 9. We have Sam Pepper. Sam Pepper has had a very controversial YouTube career. Over the years, he has been accused of rape, sexual assault by multiple women. Sam Pepper is also a prankster who has been seen often in his YouTube videos harassing women on the streets, and most of his videos take place in Los Angeles.
And he had a fake arm that looked like his hand was in his pocket, but then with his real hand, he would ask women's questions to distract them and then reach over and grab their butts.
Is this real life right now? Why is this even a prank? I don't see where the prank is here. Sam Pepper wasn't the smartest because he filmed himself committing a crime and he uploaded it onto YouTube for everyone to see. Back in 2014, an 8-year-old woman filed an incident report with the Los Angeles Police Department alleging that Sam Pepper raped her. Apparently the evidence wasn't compelling enough, so he wasn't arrested for that. Well, in 2016, Sam Pepper broke into an abandoned building and a police officer drove by and they noticed people inside of it. Sam Pepper took off. He tried to run away from the police, so the officer pulled beside Sam Pepper, and this is what happened.
And this cop car just is screeching up behind us. He's got his gun out the window like this, literally like in a movie. He's got his gun out his window like this. He's driving with this hand, gun in this hand. Get the f*** on the floor! Get the f*** on the floor now!
I really do feel bad for this next person at number 8, but I don't know if to feel bad or not. Well, we're talking about Mona Lisa Perez. And she's from Minnesota, who accidentally shot her 22-year-old boyfriend. I don't know if you remember this, it was all over the news. Her boyfriend is Pedro Reyes III, and on his YouTube video, which got shut down, but it's been re-uploaded by other channels, so you can see some of this video still. I'm not sure why it's still up on YouTube, but in the video you can see Mona Lisa holding a gun to her boyfriend while he was holding a book in front of him. They both believed that there's a possibility that the bullet may not go through the book. Well, let me show you guys the moments before the tragedy.
Just want to see if a .50 caliber bullet can go through a book. I just want to see if a .50 caliber bullet can go through a book.
I mean, isn't that common sense? Why wouldn't a bullet be able to go through a book? It's proven to go through people, through concrete. I'm very confused right now, and why did he want to see if the bullet would go through the book and stand behind the book? How about let's see if the bullet goes through the book, but I don't want to be behind it.
The ultimate test to see if this .50 caliber bullet will go through a book is, I'm just not going to just set it and just shoot it. No. I'm going to stand behind it.
Is this real life right now? This is the stupidest, spelled with 4 frickin' O's. I don't know what this guy is thinking, but he knew it was stupid and he did it anyways.
Trustworthy person that I trust in this world is my girlfriend, Mona Lisa. So if I'm gonna die, I'm pretty much ready to go to heaven right now.
Mona Lisa pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter. She was sentenced to prison, and she was also banned from owning firearms for life or collecting payments for her story, meaning she's not allowed to receive any money. If some idiot decides to raise money for her, they feel bad for her. This is just a dumb situation that didn't need to result in death. Moving on to number 7, we have Trisha Paytas.
I went to jail. And Mama's out now, Mama's okay, but I was in YouTube jail for a week.
Okay, I'm just kidding. She actually wasn't in jail. It was a prank that she played. So actually in number 7, we have Amosi from Singapore, who is a teenage vlogger. Well, in one of his videos, he's talking about how Lee Kuan Yew was dead and he was actually happy about it. Well, who is Lee Kuan Yew? Well, he was the Prime Minister of Singapore. Because of what he was saying in the video, he was arrested and charged. His bail was set at $20,000, and if he's convicted, he could be facing 3 years in jail. This became controversial because people believe in freedom of speech. Not too long ago, NBA star Enes Kanter tweeted out negative things about the Turkish government, and now the Turkish government sent out an arrest warrant, so now he can't even go back to his own country. If he goes, he's gonna have to serve jail time. How much time? I don't know. And it's just because of something he tweeted out. So I guess freedom of speech is there, but you can't really say whatever you want, can you? So is there really freedom of speech these days? I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. Number 6, let's talk about Troll Station. There's 4 members of this channel who was involved in fake robberies, kidnappings, and this all took place in 2015. The channel had almost 1 million subscribers at the time, and they've even done bomb hoaxes as well, which is just so stupid. 20-year-old Enrit, 23-year-old Helder Gomes, 27-year-old Daniel Jarvis, and 29-year-old Ebenezer Menza all pleaded guilty to 2 counts of using threatening, abusive, and insulting words or behaviors with intent to cause fear or provoke unlawful violence. They didn't get much time. I'm pretty sure it was like a month. It was like 4 weeks or something like that. But hopefully with that jail time, it taught them a lesson. It seems like a ton of prank channels have dealt with the law and has been sent to jail. Well, it's time to do it for the Vine. Okay, that is something I haven't heard in such a long time. Well, at number 5, we have Cameron Dallas, who did it for the Vine. Okay, not really. I don't think he did it for the Vine, but he is a Viner.
Boom.
Down in the DMs.
Some of y'all really need Jesus. Can I get an ow?
Well, he got himself arrested. Cameron decided to throw an insane party because why not? He's young, he's a YouTuber, he's making money. Well, things got out of hand and police were called. Well, the police settled things down and they left. Well, they were called back again, and this time when they showed up, there was a paint can thrown out the window. It was a 6th floor window, and the paint can almost hit a woman. I'm assuming that's the woman that called the police. Well, there was paint just everywhere. Cameron was arrested on charges of felony of vandalism, and he was held in $20,000 bail. At number 4, we have Cali Muscle, a guy that I've actually made a video with not too long ago. I'm not sure if you guys remember it. Well, Cali Muscle we know as this like really big YouTuber. Well, big as in like a lot of views and big as in like muscles. This guy's like beast. Well, did you guys know that he served hard time? Well, I guess for you guys who are fans of him, you guys know about it because he does talk about it a lot. Well, Cali Muscle is a bodybuilder who is originally from Oakland, California, and when he was younger, he took the wrong path in life. He got into a ton of trouble with the law. Not too long after the death of his brother, Cali Muscle found himself behind bars after an armed robbery. He spent 11 years in prison. He moved around from prison to prison, and he spent 7 years in San Quentin prison, which is a pretty tough prison. He would train daily in prison to build up his muscles into, you know, what they are today. This guy is a total beast.
Glorified prison, jail, none of that. Because for me, truthfully, it was a waste of 11 years. But I'm here to say, you better find another way, and I did it.
Cali Muscle truly has a very inspiring story, and now he has a very positive outlook on life. And now he's making money the right way. I highly recommend you guys check out the Cali Muscle story. It's a video on his YouTube channel. It's called Monster, the Cali Muscle story. I'll link to it down below. And you guys should go over to his newest videos and put hashtag most amazing top 10 sent me here. Let's give him a shout out. Number 3.
For the first time ever, you're about to hear the 23-year-old confess to Texas Rangers how he killed his parents and older brother in cold blood.
I just don't understand how people are capable of doing such a thing. Back in 2012, when Sessler was 23 years old, he murdered his parents and brother before attempting a mass shooting at Waller High School. This is the same high school he attended. This guy's YouTube channel is LensCap Productions. He posts anime, gaming reviews. There were some videos of his brother and his pets. As his YouTube videos went on, he started to introduce guns, first comedy skits and demonstrations. Sessler has confessed to everything, and when he was asked, why did he do it? Why did he kill his family? And he had an answer to that. He said he wanted to spare his family with what he was about to do, which was becoming a school mass shooting. Things are about to get even worse. Number 2, we have school shooter Pekka Erik Avianen. He went by the username on YouTube as Sturmgeist89 and Natural Selector 89. He actually uploaded videos onto his YouTube channel about school shootings and violent acts, including the Columbine High School massacre and the Tokyo subway attack, and even had videos of the bombing during the Iraq invasion. Back on November 7th, 2007, Pekka Avianen entered Jokela High School in Jokela, which is located in a town in Tuusula, Finland. The kid was just 18 years old when he entered the school, armed with a semi-automatic pistol. He killed 8 people, and there was another person who was wounded after they got shot in the toe. He then turned the gun on himself and tried to take his own life. Pekka survived his own gunshot. He was rushed to the hospital. Later that evening, he actually died in the hospital. This was the second school shooting in the history of Finland. The previous shooting was back in 1989. I'm not sure how you even top that one, but finally at number 1, we have the mass murderer Elliot Rodger.
Hi, Elliot Rodger here. Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity.
What is he talking about? Well, in the video he's talking about how he's trying to kill as many people as possible because he has lived a life of loneliness, and he mentions that no girl would give him attention. I mean, this kid is 22 years old. I wouldn't be too worried about that. I mean, this is just insane, but this sick guy decided to try and kill as many female blonde girls as possible. The day after he filmed this video, he did exactly what he said in the video. He went into the University of California and he opened fire. Just before he did that, he stabbed people in an apartment. He killed 6 people, injured 14 others before killing himself inside of his vehicle. The victims were ages 19 to 22 years old. Elliot uploaded his last ever video onto YouTube and he titled it Elliot Rodger's Retribution. After uploading the video, he emailed a lengthy autobiographical manuscript to some of his acquaintances, his therapist, and several family members as well. The document was titled My Twisted World, the story of Elliot Rodger. It then became available online, and now it's known as his manifesto. In it, he's talking about family conflicts, his struggles in life, especially his childhood, and as he grew older, he gained a hatred for women. He didn't like interracial couples. This guy was just sick, simply said.
Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have Nikki and Dan Filippi. I don't know if that's how you say their last name. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you are not surprised to see this couple on today's list, considering their recent scandal. Just a few weeks ago, the couple uploaded a video where they explained that they had euthanized their 9-year-old bull terrier named Bowser because the dog had bit their young son Logan. This is of course a terrible situation, but the details surrounding it are what has people freaking out. The couple explained that Bowser didn't attack Logan, but that he bit him because Logan was trying to take away his food. The pair also explained how Logan wasn't seriously injured, he just had a mark, but also how Logan had previously hurt the dog's ear just prior to this incident, and that encounter left the dog with a scar. The couple also took a photo shoot with Bowser before putting him down that included Logan being right next to him, so Logan obviously wasn't afraid of Bowser, and Bowser clearly wasn't afraid of or aggressive towards Logan. Nikki and Dan also explained that they had contacted the Humane Society about rehoming the dog, to which the Humane Society said that they couldn't, but when contacted, the Humane Society said that no interaction ever took place. To end off their weird video, the couple said that while they loved Bowser, it had become difficult to care for him once they had their son. They also said that they were planning to move soon and already had begun to have conversations about what to do with Bowser, since there's a lot that goes into transporting him. So all in all, this situation is very, very sad and pretty messed up. I don't know if any actual crime took place in this situation, but it definitely feels a little sketchy to me personally. Also, it's come to light that in 2018, the couple were meant to adopt a baby from Thailand, but called off the adoption when they realized that there was a law from the Thai government that would prohibit them from posting the baby on social media for a year. I'm not gonna comment on that one, and instead just leave that information for you guys to take as you will. In our number 9 spot today, we have Call Me Carson. Call Me Carson is known for his YouTube channel and his gaming Twitch streams. At the beginning of the year, on January 4th, allegations came to light that Carson was allegedly sending inappropriate messages and photos to girls. There were 2 separate Twitter accounts who came forward with these allegations, and one of them was even able to provide screenshots of the interactions. After news of this spread, in 1 week alone, he lost over 300,000 subscribers, and ever since then, he has remained off of social media and hasn't made any public addresses, as far as I know. It is unclear if there is any kind of criminal investigation happening. In our number 8 spot today, we have MiniLad. MiniLad was a super popular YouTuber and Twitch streamer with over 5 million subscribers, but the beginning of the YouTuber's controversy began a few years ago when old tweets of his resurfaced. These tweets featured both racial slurs as well as homophobic remarks. Unfortunately though, the controversy didn't end there. Last year in 2020, 2 women spoke out about how he had manipulated them when he was in his 20s and they were only teenagers, which of course means that they were underage. Shortly after this, his ex-girlfriend also spoke out saying that their relationship was extremely toxic and very manipulative. He apologized on Twitter and said he was taking a break from social media and attending therapy, but when he returned to YouTube in August of last year, his videos were met with a ton of negative feedback, as a few months of course cannot undo what these people were accusing him of. He released a few more apology videos, but as of last year, he hasn't posted an upload. He has made his intention to return to YouTube clear though, as he stated he would when he thought the time was right. In our number 7 spot today, we have T Martin 2. T Martin 2 is an American YouTuber who's known for his gaming videos, but he fell into some trouble back in 2016. Him, along with another YouTuber, began to promote a gambling website. The pair promoted it saying that they had just found it and really enjoyed it, so they encouraged their audience to go and check it out as well. Well, as we all well know, nothing gets past cyber sleuths, as they found out that this gambling website the pair supposedly just stumbled upon was actually co-owned by them. People were of course super outraged at this, and his channel's views began to decline until he just stopped uploading on the channel altogether. I don't necessarily think he should be in jail, but not disclosing the ownership of the business he was promoting was technically a crime, so he definitely needed to be on this list today. In our number 6 spot today, we have That Vegan Teacher. This one is a bit of an exaggeration on my part, and I don't think she's done anything that's really a jailable offense, but she's still doing some extremely questionable things. That Vegan Teacher first came under fire when she said she wasn't going to donate her organs after she passed away because she didn't want any meat eaters to have them. Not only does that seem a little dramatic, but it truly seems like something she could have just kept to herself. She is known for her replies to anyone who has anything bad to say about her or her content, and has even been accused of stalking someone she had internet drama with, but I'm not sure how true that one is. Her TikTok came under fire when she said that coming out as vegan is more special than someone who is a part of the LGBTQIA+ community coming out, which is obviously not true considering vegans aren't a marginalized group, and also literally no one cares about your diet. She also controversially feeds her dog Bella a vegan diet as well, and there's the hashtag Save Bella the Dog, and even a petition on change.org about it. The final straw for a lot of people on her wild internet escapades started in March of this year when she uploaded a video saying that she should be able to say the N-word because she should be able to reclaim the word. Just to be clear, that word is not hers to reclaim. She also made a video where she had a black doll that she gave 6 one-word compliments to, which she also wrote out to form an acrostic poem of the slur. The good news is that she was banned from TikTok, and even after making more accounts a few more times, they took those ones down too. In our number 5 spot today, we have EDP445. EDP445 is a former YouTuber who is known for his love of the Eagles football team and also for his rant videos. His initial rise to popularity was within the sports community, but he began to branch out and started making different kinds of videos like gaming or cooking or sometimes just vlogs. He ended up making appearances on Comedy Central, MTV, ESPN, and a bunch of other networks for his content, but just at the peak of his success, things really took a dark turn. In July of 2020, he released a video where he was attempting to clear up rumors that he had been voice chatting with minors. People didn't think much of this, but then in October, another YouTuber called Cold Raven uploaded a video that showed proof of these messages and showed even further grotesque conduct. In December, in a video, he actually said he didn't care about the law, and then went even further to say something that I don't feel comfortable repeating. In April of this year, 2 YouTubers who specialize in hunting predators set up a sting where they caught and confronted him. Shortly after this, he deleted all of his YouTube videos, and a few days after that, YouTube terminated his accounts. Legal action has not yet been taken, but authorities have confirmed that an investigation is underway. Unfortunately, that sting operation by the YouTubers has made the investigation significantly harder, but let's all hope that they can gather all the necessary evidence and ensure justice is served. In our number 4 spot today, we have Hate the State. Hate the State is one of the smaller YouTubers on this list, but he still hit the milestone of 22,000 subscribers. This this year, he actually did end up getting arrested though. There have been rumors of what he got arrested for since March of 2019, but everything really came to fruition just recently. He was apparently arrested because he was stalking a woman who very obviously didn't want to talk to him. He would send her unwanted messages and voicemails where he would talk about how he just wanted to love her, and he also threatened to kill everyone she wants if he doesn't get the attention he's seeking. And he even sent a dead cat to her doorstep, which is just a terrible sign. Unfortunately, he also somehow convinced a fan to fall under the same creepy spell, and this person also began to harass this poor woman. This is one on this list where they should be in jail, but thankfully they actually are. This YouTuber ended up getting sentenced to 5 years, and the fan will be serving 44 months. I can't imagine how terrifying that must have been for that young woman, and I hope when the jail sentences are up, there are steps put in place in order to keep them away from her and keep her safe. In our number 3 spot today, we have Maximilian Muse. Maximilian was a popular Call of Duty troll YouTuber who a lot of people know for his little meme comment thing he did in 2018. Earlier this year in February, Critical released a video where he exposed Max for some downright horrific things, many of which I actually cannot repeat here today. Included in the video was manipulation, encouraging his fans to dox people or release people's personal details on the internet, or harassing and bullying other content creators. He would get his fans to go to other people's streams, whether they were large or small, and say homophobic and racist things to try and get them banned. Unfortunately, these aren't even the worst things. The place where the most deplorable acts took place were usually on Discord. There were a few times on calls where he took advantage of vulnerable people and made them do things that I'm sure they would not have normally done, and he would regularly have to delete Discord servers because of the images that were being shared, which would get anyone sent to jail. So you can imagine what that is. This is just the tip of the iceberg with this one, and somehow his channel is both still up and has close to 1.5 million subscribers. It's just one of those cases where you just aren't sure how. In our number 2 spot today, we have Artem S. Okay, so I actually wasn't able to find the YouTube account that was connected with this horrifying incident, but one of the 3 men involved was named Artem S. Artem began dating a 30-year-old mother of 3 after her split from her husband. Unfortunately, Artem and his friends decided to do something absolutely unthinkable one night, all in an attempt to make money on a live stream. The men drugged this woman and began destroying her apartment, all for small donations on the stream. They said for every donation they would do more damage, which included ripping off doors, smashing toilets, breaking a fridge, and dishware. This was not all though, as they also violently attacked this woman as well on this live stream, all while laughing about it. The woman's family allegedly tracked down Artem and the other perpetrators and gave them a taste of their own medicine before passing the footage along to authorities, who are now doing an investigation. It's hard to believe that people can do atrocious things like this, and it's also hard to believe that there are people who will watch and donate. In our number 1 spot today, we have Stas Reflay. Stas Reflay is a Russian streamer who did the absolute unthinkable last year on a live stream. He was offered $1,000 to lock his girlfriend Valentina outside in the freezing cold. Unfortunately, he decided to do this, and things really escalated. Valentina ended up passing away due to hypothermia after being left outside. He continued the live stream even after he had discovered what happened to her, and it saw him calling the paramedics, them showing up and pronouncing her dead, and then apparently he continued on for another 2 hours after that. Even while all of this was going on, he continued to update the people watching this stream instead of focusing on what actually really mattered in that moment. There were also apparently signs of trauma on her as well that would suggest he had hit her before locking her out in the cold. We have Borja Escalona. Borja Escalona is a YouTuber who had quite an issue earlier this year in 2021. For some reason, he decided it would be a good idea to head out and try to play a trick on people where he wore a razor and pretended to cut people's hair. I'm not exactly sure why this even happened at all in the first place, but things quickly took a dark turn. When he approached a person with the razor, the person pushed him away, which is honestly a very fair reaction, and this caused the razor to fall to the ground and break. After this, he chased this guy around saying that he should pay for the razor, and this is when he decided it would be a good idea to pick up and throw the razor at him. He ended up missing and actually hit a woman passing by in the face instead. She ended up suffering a fracture in her nose from this incident. I do believe that it was just an accident, but it's just a picture-perfect example of exactly what not to do. In our number 9 spot today, we have Exurbia. Exurbia is a British YouTuber who is now located in Bulgaria, but has an ongoing investigation out of the Netherlands. He used to co-host a podcast with an artist who is also autistic called Photo and Grime. Photo and Grime filed a multitude of complaints against Exurbia for different physical violent acts as well as blackmail and harassment. After these allegations came to light, an investigation was of course launched by the Dutch police. He has never addressed any of it publicly except for when he deleted comments on his own subreddit about the incident, which I believe speaks volumes. He also ended up being banned from the thread, which is definitely for the best. The police investigation is actually still ongoing since 2017 because of the fact that he has yet to turn himself in, which again, truly says a lot. In our number 8 spot today, we have Gaga Stajals. Gaga Stajals is a YouTuber from Serbia whose channel has actually been shut down for a while and for a very good reason. In 2018, a news outlet reported on a video where he was seen harming a goat. In the video, he is saying some pretty disgusting things about what he would like to do to the goat, and while that action in and of itself is not illegal, it sure is creepy and weird, and the rest of the video is illegal. Apparently, he also had a Facebook page where he would document all of the things he would do to the animal as well, and honestly, I thought I had some annoying people on Facebook, but this one certainly takes the cake. He is definitely the type of person you instantly delete. You guys, harming animals is bad enough, but just to add an extra layer, this person was also working at a childcare center, all while uploading these horrifying things. There haven't been any accusations as far as the children go, which is really good news, but it's just so chilling to think of someone who's doing these types of things being around children. In our number 7 spot today, we have Caro the Wolf. Caro the Wolf, whose real name is Joshua Hoffman, is a furry YouTuber who initially rose to fame when he was interviewed by Shane Dawson a few years ago. Since this interview, however, both Shane and Caro have had their fair share of controversy, but in today's video, we are only talking about Caro. He ended up being exposed for his behavior towards his dog, Coda, and potentially other animals as well. He was silent for a while and paused his uploads while there was a criminal investigation into this matter. Unfortunately, however, the silence didn't last forever because Caro uploaded a video in March of 2021 where he deleted any and all negative comments and disabled the like to dislike ratio. In the video, he would admit to his wrongdoings and explained that there was not enough evidence for the police to lay any official charges against him. In our number 6 spot today, we have Onision. Onision, whose real name is James Jackson, is an American YouTuber, and honestly guys, are you even surprised he's on this list today? I can't go into a ton of specific detail about everything he did because we would be here for way too long, as well as the fact that some of the things he said are just things I cannot repeat on this channel. He's been exposed for harming women, both mentally and otherwise. He has been accused of being a predator, for harming animals, and honestly, the list unfortunately goes on. Even Chris Hansen has made attempts to intervene, which obviously says a lot. He actually said that he would be quitting YouTube and Twitter, but as of making this video, his most recent upload was only 1 week ago. In our number 5 spot today, we have Daddy05. Daddy05, whose real name is Michael Christopher Martin, is an American YouTuber who I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, but for less than great reasons. This channel would see Michael and his wife along with Michael's children. It was a vlog type channel that quickly turned quite grim. The youngest child in the family is named Cody, and he would often get pretty brutally bullied by his family members, and it truly was hard to watch. In the video, which I think may have been the final straw for the people who watched the channel, was a video where Michael pranked Cody into believing that he had made a mess on the carpet. Cody is visibly so scared and so traumatized that he begins to cry, at which point Michael begins screaming at him, which would of course only further the terror that Cody was of course feeling. Now Cody and his sister have moved in with their biological mother, where I hope that they are both much safer and that they have been able to heal from all of the things they endured at their dad's house. In our number 4 spot today, we have Shay. Shay is a YouTuber from Brazil who also used to be an esports player. Randomly, she was also in charge of running the public ministry of Sao Paulo's online retail store. You might be wondering why that is relevant, but just wait. Between 2013 and 2017, it was alleged that she scammed a total of 118 customers who tried purchasing items at this online store. She has said that it was due to bad administration and that there were many other items and customers that had no issue at all. She did end up being arrested and tried, and in a pretty crazy turn of events, in March of 2020, she was actually sentenced to 116 years in prison, which most definitely seems exceptionally extreme and unnecessary. Her lawyers, of course, appealed it immediately. She remains outside of jail currently and is still very active on social media. If she really did scam people, she probably should see some sort of punishment for that, especially considering she's not struggling financially, but I don't think 116 years in jail is exactly reasonable for a crime of this size. In our number 3 spot today, we have I'm Jay Station. I'm Jay Station is a Canadian YouTuber who is no stranger to controversy. In January of 2020, he did something very strange and extremely messed up when he uploaded a video saying that his girlfriend, Alexia Morano, had been killed in a car crash. Of course, the outpouring of sympathy was huge for him because that would obviously be an incredibly tragic situation, but here's the thing. That didn't happen. Why would you lie about anyone passing away at all, let alone a real living person that people actually care about? It's just weird. Anyway, since that day, many people have come out to speak about Jay's alleged manipulative, abusive, and controlling behavior, more specifically towards women, especially those he was dating. There's a whole slew of other things that he has done that have caused controversy, such as his videos impersonating a police officer, his false claims of contacting dead celebrities through the spirit world, and also for spreading misinformation about the COVID-19 pandemic. His channel was officially terminated on March 12th of 2021, and he took to Twitter to call YouTube the worst platform ever, and he has even threatened to sue. There's something about a grown man having a temper tantrum about the consequences of his own actions that is very satisfying to watch. In our number 2 spot today, we have Albrecht Studios. Albrecht Studios is a channel that reviews and comments on the Cartoon Network show Ninjago Masters of the Spinjitzu. In June of 2020, another channel called Just Too Bad exposed some shady behavior that Albrecht Studios was allegedly doing. Apparently, he was scamming his fans, who were of course mostly children. He would bait them into giving out credit card information for what he called giveaways. Well, they obviously weren't giveaways, and he would apparently actually spend their money, which I suppose in most cases was actually the fans' parents' money. Aside from this, he also apparently leaked what at the time was the new Ninjago Legacy set, and there are lots of rumors that have swirled of him being a creep as well. I obviously cannot confirm if any of this is true, but if it is, there is no doubt that some criminal charges could certainly be laid, especially in regards to the scamming. In our number 1 spot today, we have Playmate Tessie. Playmate Tessie, whose real name is Maya West, is a YouTuber and streamer who is also an OnlyFans user. She used to be known for her various videos where she could be seen cooking or baking or doing arts and crafts type things, but now she's mostly known for the insane controversy surrounding her. In January of 2021, she was recorded on a chat on Omegle making fun of a cancer patient, which is truly next level messed up. When called out for this, she made a tweet that read, "If you don't want to be made fun of for having cancer, just don't effing have cancer, dumb pores." So it's obviously abundantly clear that she is in fact not a doctor. She was also the one who made and uploaded the video, so it was very clear that she saw nothing wrong with it and quite literally didn't care. She also had some horrifying things to say about people with autism. She said that they fake it for attention and that they should be sent to the gas chambers. I absolutely could not make this stuff up, you guys. Her dad is famous writer Jim West, and when he heard of all of this, he kicked her out of the house. She then proceeded to get her sister to make up lies about him and even went as far as to call the cops on him, where she falsely told authorities that he was abusive, mentally ill, and had threatened to kill her with guns. After this whole thing was cleared up, she was staying in a hotel and decided to dox her dad. And just to add a few more things to the list in case it wasn't already long enough, she once said that racism should happen and then proceeded to make fun of Mexicans and Germans. She apparently has a history of scamming and blackmailing people. She's made transphobic comments, and she is also famous for harming her cat. So all in all, there's a lot to unpack here.